Forward.
Forward. As a graduate of the class of 2021, that word has more meaning than it ever could have before this year. You are here today because of the perseverance and the resilience during a global pandemic. No small thing. You continue to move this university, the state, and the world forward.
Whether it's been a couple of years on campus, or more than a few, or for some of you, closer to a decade, we all have one thing in common. Today, we are all becoming Badgers.
While this past year has forever altered our engagement on campus and off, what it means to be a Badger will never change. We may have missed a lot of traditional experiences this past year, but don't forget all the moments, memories, and milestones that have gotten you here today.
We've been through a lot together, despite spending much of this past year apart. But so much more than just this past year has shaped and molded you into the Badger you are today. We know you will continue on, forward, but let's take a look back and remember what brought you to this moment. Congratulations to all of the graduates. We are proud to call you fellow alumni. And on Wisconsin.
Good afternoon, our graduate student graduates. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to Camp Randall Stadium and to the 2021 spring commencement of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. My name is Carl Schultz. I'm the provost of this university, and someone planning commencement had the bad idea of inviting me to do this role. I'll carry on, though. We brought commencement back to Camp Randall this spring, reestablishing an important tradition. Whether you're joining us here in person or through our live stream, we are one Badger community on this special day. Humans have called this place home for 12,000 years and counting. Today, the University of Wisconsin-Madison rests in the ancestral lands of the Ho-Chunk Nation, the people of the Big Voice, who have called this place Des Jope for time immemorial. We, as a university community, continue to create and build upon our partnership with the 12 First Nations of Wisconsin. We, as a state university, respect the inherent sovereignty and unique legal status as affirmed and set forth in state and federal law of the First Nations of Wisconsin. Now, graduates, as part of this ceremony, we are in part of the degree conferral aspect of the ceremony today. We will ask you to put on your hoods. So for those of you who are wearing hoods right now, we encourage all of you at this time to remove your hood. If that's not too big a problem, we would be the most grateful. As you're doing that little piece of housekeeping, if you're like me, spend like 30 minutes in front of the mirror getting that dang hood right, so to ask you to take it off is a bit cruel, I understand that. But as you're doing that, would you please now rise as you are able for the academic procession led by graduates of our amazing class of 2021 who were chosen by their dean to represent their school or college by carrying its flag. It is now my honor to introduce our official party. The Chancellor of the finest public university in the country, Chancellor Rebecca Blank. Regent Scott Bechtel, UW System Board of Regents. Steve Ackerman, the Vice Chancellor for Research and Graduate Education. Lori Resor, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Cheryl Gittens, the Interim Deputy Vice Chancellor and Chief Diversity Officer. William Karpus, Dean of the Graduate School. Robert Golden, Dean of the School of Medicine and Public Health. Steve Swanson, Dean of the School of Pharmacy. Linda Scott, Dean of the School of Nursing. Mark Markell, Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine. Daniel Tokaji, Dean of the Law School. Diana Hess, Dean of the School of Education. Eric Wilcox, Dean of the College of Letters and Science. David Noyce, Executive Associate Dean of the College of Engineering. Vallabh Sambamurthy, Dean of the School of Business. Soyun Shim, Dean of the School of Human Ecology. Catherine Vanden Bosch, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Dietram Scheufele, Professor and Chair of the Honorary Degree Committee. Raymond Tafora, in his last graduation at UW-Madison, our Vice Chancellor for Legal Affairs. Christina Olstad, Dean of Students. Paul Robbins, Dean of the Nelson Institute for Environmental Studies. Jeff Russell, Vice Provost and Dean of Continuing Studies. Carl Martin, Dean and Director of the Division of Extension. Guido Podesta, Vice Provost and Dean of the International Division. Scott Ovchadik, University Registrar. Heather Daniels, Secretary of the Faculty. And Sarah Shute, Chief Alumni Officer and Executive Director of the Wisconsin Alumni Association. Please join me in welcoming these official party members. Please be seated. I would now like you to turn your attention to the exceptional group we have in front of me, our distinguished graduates who have been selected as flag bearers. Each has made an extraordinary contribution to teaching, research, outreach, or service during the pandemic, particularly emphasizing the remarkable resiliency of the class of 2021. From the School of Education, Kirsten Kohlmeyer, Doctor of Occupational Therapy. During the pandemic, Kirsten worked remotely as a transition coordinator and advocate for students with learning disabilities who are returning to mainstream schools. From the Graduate School, Sarah Braley, Doctor of Musical Arts in Vocal Performance. For Sarah, the pandemic meant accepting the Grammy Award for Best Classical Solo Vocal Album virtually from her Madison apartment on March 14th. What a tremendous achievement. Our congratulations to you, Sarah. From the law school, Peter Torella, Juris Doctor. As president of the Student Bar Association at the law school this past year, Peter advocated on behalf of his classmates during the pandemic and worked to elevate their voices, the same voices that will soon represent and seek justice for their clients, communities, and fellow Wisconsinites. Jacqueline Weicker from the College of Letters and Science, Doctor of Audiology. Jacqueline has been on the front lines of the pandemic with her classmates and supervisors in the UW Audiology program, going into hospitals and clinics every day to help patients with hearing and balance disorders navigate environments that unexpectedly became scarier and more isolating. School of Medicine and Public Health, Laura Swanson, Doctor of Philosophy, Cellular and Molecular Biology. In the early months of the pandemic, Laura wrote and successfully defended her PhD dissertation and was able to get 2 first-authored papers accepted for publication, despite the temporary closure of her mentor's lab. She then completed her final year of medical school hospital rotations during the pandemic. From the School of Nursing, Elijah Smith, Doctor of Nursing Practice. This past year, Elijah became a community educator for the Alzheimer's Association, providing crucial support to caregivers directly impacted by COVID-19, and increased awareness and understanding of how the pandemic has affected the needs of those with dementia. From the School of Pharmacy, William Heelan, Doctor of Pharmacy. William has dedicated himself to providing high-quality, evidence-based information to his patients to better inform their health decisions, something that took on even greater importance during the pandemic. As the president of his pharmacy class the past 4 years, he kept his classmates informed about important updates, voiced their concerns to appropriate faculty and staff members, and helped connect them to resources to support their learning and well-being. And last, but very much not least, from the School of Veterinary Medicine, Clara Cole, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. This past year, Clara assisted with a research project to help determine if differing microbiomes led to increased susceptibility to the virus that causes COVID-19. As veterinarians, she and her classmates are using their knowledge of animal health and zoonotic diseases to improve the health not only of animals but also humans. Please join me in recognizing these exceptional, extraordinary graduates.
Please rise for the singing of our national anthem, performed by Doctor of Musical Arts, Vocal Performance, Class of 2021 degree candidate, Sarah Braley, and Master of Music, Vocal Performance, Class of 2021 degree candidate, Deshawn Stokes.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you.
Thank you, both Deshawn and Sarah, for a great performance. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Camp Randall Stadium and the 2021 Graduate School Commencement of the University of Wisconsin in Madison. After one of the strangest years that any of us has experienced, we are here together and in person to celebrate, and it feels great. Thank you, Carl Schultz, for for introducing everyone and for getting us started off. And I want to thank John Gottman, who you will meet in a moment on video, who receives an honorary degree today. Dr. Gottman could not be here in person, but you'll hear from him, and I think you'll be inspired, as I have been, by his unique ability to see a problem in a way that nobody has ever considered before. He's world-renowned for his research on marriage. The mathematicians in the crowd will appreciate the fact that he's particularly well known as one of the first people to utilize differential equations to model and describe interactions between couples. I also want to take a moment to recognize the departure of Barry Alvarez, our athletic director, who's retiring after 31 years here at UW. Under his leadership, our Badger teams have won multiple championships. Our student athletes have been recognized for top academic achievement, and our football program was singled out as one of the most admired in the country, not just because we win on the field, but because of our students' academic success and community engagement. So thank you, Barry, for giving us so many reasons to cheer here in Camp Randall and elsewhere over the last 3 decades. To the graduates who are here in person and the members of this class joining us via live stream, today we mark the years of sustained effort that you have all invested to work in the highest levels of your field and the sacrifices you have made along the way. Just months ago, few of us imagined we'd actually be able to be together today. You have made this moment possible with your careful attention to health protocols that have kept yourself and others healthy. I know it hasn't been an easy year, but you've handled it with grace and even a sense of humor. One of our students recently observed that he can no longer walk past Union South, where he went twice a week to test, without beginning to drool. I want to say a special word to the estimated 40,000 parents, spouses, partners, children, siblings, and friends who are with us today on live stream. This is your celebration too, and I want to thank you for the years of support and sacrifice that brought your graduate to this day. To those graduates who have lost friends, colleagues, and family members to the pandemic or for other causes, we remember them as well. Let's all give a hand to those who've supported us over these years. This has been an extraordinary year. We've seen a convergence of crises, not just the pandemic, economic uncertainty, political polarization, and a new level of urgency to take meaningful action against racism and injustice, to put an end to violence against brown and black people, people of Asian descent, and all others who've been the target of hate crimes in this country. These things have affected all of you, but some of you have faced particular challenges, and you deserve special recognition today. So please stand as you are able and remain standing. Let me read through a few categories. If you have taught undergraduate classes in person this year, stand. If you had to figure out how to teach remotely this year, please stand. If you do clinical work or research related to COVID-19 or have helped us in our testing or vaccination clinics, please stand. If you're a first responder or a frontline worker, please stand. And if you had a child learning at home rather than in school or in preschool, please stand. For all that you have accomplished under especially stressful circumstances, please give yourselves and one another a round of applause. You can be seated. I know that many of you have also faced financial hardship, and all of you have experienced a diminution of the two things that are at the heart of who we are and what we do here at UW-Madison. First, interdisciplinary collaboration with partners across campus and around the world. And second, public outreach to share knowledge beyond the borders of the campus, what we call the Wisconsin idea. These are things that depend on connections between people, and this university has always been a place that fosters those connections. They're built on thousands of small moments, a conversation in the hallway that gives you something new to think about, Friday afternoons with your lab partners on the terrace, or just coffee with a friend. COVID has taken a lot away from many of us. But it has also taught us something very valuable that it's easy to lose sight of in graduate school: how to think like a beginner. The great cellist Yo-Yo Ma credits his remarkable ability to connect with audiences to his beginner's mind, which he describes as being receptive to what's around you and being present without judgment. When we lost the ability to see each other face to face, to take note of all those nonverbal cues that say, "I understand you," or "I'm confused," we all had to start over learning how to communicate in different ways, to listen better, to pace ourselves differently, or to ask more questions. Those of you who teach have experienced this daily, as have those of you whose research depends on building and maintaining relationships with communities across Wisconsin and around the world. Sarah Alexander is a great example. Sarah graduates today with a PhD in civil and environmental engineering, and I know Sarah is out there somewhere. They'll find her with the camera. Sarah worked with partners in Ethiopia to develop novel approaches for predicting seasonal rainfall and communicating with farmers and communities about uncertain climate conditions to help them build more resilient systems. Her work is also going to be important here in Wisconsin, but all of this will only be helpful if we can communicate that information effectively. Without the ability to travel to Ethiopia for in-person presentations, Sarah and her partners worked with the people in the community who brought farmers together outdoors, held up the cell phone, and then held a megaphone up to the cell phone. It wasn't exactly ideal, but with this setup, the research team was able to share critically important information. No matter your field, COVID has forced you to do some things you probably haven't done before, using new technologies and reaching out to people in different ways. And I suspect this has sharpened your communication skills. And you will need those skills as you go out into a world that does not always believe in science, but that urgently needs the solutions that only science can provide. COVID has taught us to view other facets of our lives through a beginner's lens as well. And it turns out that examining everything you do and figuring out a different way to do it teaches you a few things that are really worth knowing, like what is essential and what isn't, how to be flexible with yourself and others, and what energizes you or makes you feel depleted. So many of you have stories about things you've decided to stop doing or things that you've discovered and started doing this past year. Some of you are playing more guitar or learning a new instrument. Some of you are learning to meditate or take online yoga. And some of you are just carving out time for long walks. These activities aren't simply pleasant distractions. They are essential to your well-being and help re-energize you for your work. When Albert Einstein came upon a problem that stumped him, he'd step away and play his violin. Isaac Newton and Carl Sagan would pick up their pens and write. And Beatrice Potter created Peter Rabbit as an outlet for the frustration she encountered as a woman in science. I hope you will continue to try activities that give you a chance to be a beginner again. And I hope you'll stay connected with your fellow graduate students who will be your colleagues for life. They will always laugh and cry with you, be there to celebrate victories, large and small, no matter how many years go by. After today, with your graduate degree, you will be part of that very powerful community of some of the most highly educated people in the world. That gives you a responsibility to use your education wisely, to make the world around you a better place. And you are also part of that Badger family of alumni, more than 450,000 strong. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for all that you have done during your time here. And best wishes as you set off on the next stage of your journey. Wherever you go, be sure to come back and visit us ever so often here in Madison and tell us how we're doing. Congratulations, and on Wisconsin. It is now my honor to introduce Scott Bechtel, a member of the University of Wisconsin system Board of Regents. Scott earned his law degree from the University of Wisconsin Law School, and his Badger pride runs deep. He's a partner in the Milwaukee office of the Michael Best Law Firm and is frequently included in lists of the top attorneys in the country in the areas of employment and labor relations law. He's heavily engaged in civic and community endeavors, currently serving on the U.S. Chamber of Commerce National Public Affairs Committee, the United Performing Arts Council, and the Water Council. Scott has served on the Board of Regents since 2018 and has a passion for ensuring that the UW system remains one of the top public school systems of higher education in the nation and beyond. I am honored to present Regent Scott Bechtel. Scott.
Thank you, Chancellor Blank. And I've got an Einstein quote coming too, so. It's truly an honor to join you all and the graduates on this very special occasion. On behalf of my Regent colleagues and UW System President Tommy Thompson, I offer each of you my very sincere congratulations. But let me extend a special welcome also to the families and friends of our graduates joining us via live stream for this celebration. Even though we're not sharing the same physical space here at Camp Randall, I'm confident that you graduates, that all of us here, can feel your pride and support on this big day. The support that you have provided to the graduates, encouragement, vision, love, and financial support, is appreciated by each and every one of our graduates. For we know that none of us achieve success in isolation. This is a day to remember. You're earning a prestigious degree and you're beginning the next stage of your life. The education you've received from this wonderful university and from our talented faculty and staff and from your fellow students, and the experience you've gained along the way are tremendous assets and will serve you well in your future endeavors. Now, when you think back on your time here at UW-Madison, I do hope you'll remember the dedicated and creative faculty who inspire students to want more, the innovative research that is expanding the realm of what's possible in the world and beyond, and how your fellow students challenged and encouraged you. UW-Madison is truly a special place. This university exemplified those values when I crossed this stage to receive my law degree, and I'm confident it will continue to do so for years to come. I graduated from the UW Law School. Where are my law students? Where are you at? Well, I graduated in 19, My wife, Desiree, is a double Badger, BS in political science and a JD. And yes, you can find romance in the law school. When Desiree and I drive into town, we both feel a warmth for this very special place. Fond memories cascade as we come into the campus. And you'll always have a very special connection to this place wherever you go. You'll see that when you come back here. And I hope you also pay it forward in some way to enable others to experience the transformational education and experiences that the UW-Madison has afforded each of you. Either with your talents or your treasure, it's important that we give back. Now, each of you has your own unique story of how you got here, but you also share in a proud UW tradition that binds us together, and that is seeing a need in the world around us and then working to find a solution. Think of that, find a solution. UW-Madison has always believed that we should benefit and learn from the past, think, train, and work for the future. This joint philosophy of education and service, that is the cornerstone of the Wisconsin idea. It helps to define who we are and what we do, both on campus and beyond. Some call it Badger pride, and it's palpable. And in today's world, Chancellor Blank, here comes that quote, we need truth seekers in science, in law, in engineering, education, journalism, public policy, and politics. Albert Einstein, the Nobel Prize-winning scientist, has a marvelous quote that brings home the need for all of us to be truth seekers, especially today. Those of you who are familiar with Washington, D.C., there's a wonderful monument just off the mall where the Einstein statue exists, and there's 3 or 4 quotes on that wall. And one of the quotes is, The right to search for the truth implies also a duty. One must not conceal any part of what one has recognized to be the truth. We need truth seekers. While there has been plenty of uncertainty and unknowns in this past year, and we are all deeply, deeply proud of what you've endured this year. We really mean that. You're a remarkable generation, a remarkable set of students, and you have our admiration. It's important that our graduates as we send forward you forward to the state of Wisconsin and beyond, it's important the things that you'll be doing. Your loved ones need you, your state needs you, the world needs you. And graduates, I do hope you receive your UW-Madison diploma with pride today. Please graciously accept all the accolades and good wishes that will come your way today and over the weekend, because you have earned them. My fellow regents and I could not be more proud of you. Congratulations again to you and your families and your loved ones, and I would be remiss if I didn't extend early wishes to all the mothers for a very happy Mother's Day. We've got a lot of good Badger moms out there. So congratulations again to our graduates. On Wisconsin!
Today we have the privilege of awarding a UW-Madison honorary degree. An honorary degree is earned not by completing a course of study, but by living an extraordinary life. This spring, the award will be granted in absentia, and we look forward to inviting the recipient to Madison at a time when it is safe to do so. Dietram Scheufele is the Taylor Bascom Chair in Science Communication and Vilas Distinguished Achievement Professor at the University of Wisconsin here in Madison, and Chair of the Committee on Honorary Degrees. Please welcome Dr. Scheufele, who will present the candidate for honorary degree.
Chancellor Blank, on recommendation of the faculty of the University of Wisconsin-Madison and by vote of the Board of Regents, I present this individual for an honorary degree. Dr. John Gottman is renowned for establishing a research-based approach to relationships, one of the most meaningful aspects of our lives. His decades of research on divorce prediction and marital stability provide relationship therapy a solid foundation to produce remarkable success. The Gottman Institute has helped all types of relationships all over the world be stronger through the Gottman Method couples therapy. Chancellor Blank, on the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I present John Gottman to receive the degree in absentia, Honorary Doctor of Science.
Dr. Gottman, in recognition of the contributions you have made in studying interactions among married couples and developing effective techniques for relationship therapy, the University of Wisconsin-Madison confers on you the degree Honorary Doctor of Science. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Gottman to make a few remarks in response to his honorary degree.
Thank you so much for this great and totally unexpected honor. As I think about it, I'm especially honored because our era of graduate students in the 1960s contained people who went on to become really fine scientists, including Edward Tronick, Stephen Suomi, and Stephen Asher. I'm also especially honored because the psychology department at the University of Wisconsin continues to be a great center of current psychological research. I'm very proud to have graduated from the University of Wisconsin Psychology Department. So what can I leave you graduates with that might be even a little helpful to you? How can you benefit from my admittedly very limited wisdom? So I've given this a lot of thought. Okay, here goes. I've got 3 messages to give to you, and here they are. Message 1 is follow your heart. Undertake what means the most to you. That's my first message. Message 2, don't be afraid to tackle hard things that may seem at first impossible. And message 3, you don't have to do this alone. team up with the people you trust the most. And I'd also add a kind of Irish theme here. Grab the good luck that you're handed in your life. You will undoubtedly encounter some bad luck along your way as well. But let me illustrate each of these points with stories from my own unquestionably blessed life. Okay, let me start with point one, follow your heart. I started my undergraduate life as an applied mathematician. I loved math and I still do. To this day, I read math books for fun. 20 years ago, I even wrote with my good friend James Murray, whom I was very lucky to meet at the University of Washington. I wrote a book called The Mathematics of Marriage. It's about real difference and differential equations that describe couples' interaction. And that book fulfilled a dream of mine. So when I was 20 years old, I was studying graduate math at MIT. I was diverted from a career in math by my randomly assigned roommate, Bill Bruce. I was very lucky to have been assigned Bill Bruce as a roommate. Bill was studying psychology at MIT, and I wound up finding his books a lot more interesting than my math book. So my message number one, I followed my heart, and I left MIT and applied to the University of Wisconsin Psychology Department. And that was an enormous career switch. I was lucky to get in, and I grabbed that luck. That leads me to my point two. Tackle hard things, things that may at first seem impossible. What I most value about my education at the University of Wisconsin was that I learned how to precisely measure very difficult but very important psychological constructs. I also learned how to observe social interaction. Of course, I was just following a Wisconsin tradition. Harry Harlow's work at the Wisconsin Primate Center in measuring love in rhesus macaques. That's a hard one to tackle, measuring love. But he did it. Mavis Hetherington's groundbreaking research on observing families, and my mentor, Richard McFall's fabulous work on social skills, and Jim Sackett, also at the Primate Center, his brilliant statistical work in measuring lagged sequences of social connection. That Wisconsin tradition combined careful measurement, quantitative observation, experimentation, and innovative statistical tools that made major breakthroughs in our understanding of what it means to be human. These Wisconsin researchers also revealed to my mind the importance of observing emotion at a time when psychology was captivated by behaviorism, a methodology that had no interest at all in emotion. Now there's even an APA journal called Emotion. So how did I keep following my heart? That message number one. That brings me to my third point. You don't have to do this alone. Team up with people you trust. I was lucky to have a great and beloved Wisconsin mentor, Professor Richard McFall, who guided me to understand and do research on what I was actually puzzling about. He got me to follow my heart as a scientist. I was particularly bad at relationships. And because I'd been bullied in high school, a former social isolate, McFall guided me to study an issue close to my heart. The first one was kids and how kids made friends and how they got accepted or rejected by other kids. So how did I, a former social isolate, wind up helping kids make friends and not get rejected? That was a very hard problem to solve, and especially for me. But at Wisconsin, I had learned how to observe. So I started there. My own adult relationships with women were also a total disaster at that time. I had no idea how to choose a partner or how to make a relationship work. By the time I started my research, I'd chosen and dated a set of women who had most of the problems known to modern psychiatry. So I wasn't a very good chooser. So how does a completely incompetent, relationship clueless guy study something that hard? The answer is I was trained on how to observe interaction at the University of Wisconsin. So I decided to observe emotions as people interact. That's my point two, tackle something really hard. So point three, I was very lucky to be able to team up with my best friend, psychophysiologist Robert Levinson, professor at the University of California, Berkeley, and lucky to learn from my friend Paul Ekman, who taught me how to read emotions in the human face. And 25 years later, again lucky to be able to team up with my wife, Dr. Julie Schwartz-Gottman. I was able to grab the luck I'd been handed. In the end, it really worked out. I got to understand the things that were once major life puzzles for me, stuff I really wanted to know and understand. So now I understand how kids and adults make friends and how they can avoid peer rejection. I've studied competent love relationships and disaster relationships for the past 50 years, including parent-child relationship and children's relationship with other children. And we've mostly in Bob's lab followed couples for as long as 20 years. We've studied couples across the life course, parent-child relationships, and gay and lesbian couples as well. Best of all, now I've got really great friends. And now I've been happily married for the past 34 years to a woman who my mother said was the only good choice I'd ever made in my life. And my mom was not wrong. So I grabbed the luck I was handled with Bob and Julie. We've actually developed the only couples therapy in the world that is based on what effective couples actually do to make their relationships work. It's very effective at preventing relationship disasters and reasonably effective at turning around relationships that aren't working very well. And the story isn't by any means over, which is still so much fun. There's still a lot to understand. How do you help couples get over and end domestic violence, end addiction, survive an affair, survive major depression, anxiety, or past traumas? We're still studying that in my lab in Seattle. It's still a work in progress. So I leave you with these 3 points. Number 1, follow your heart. Number 2, don't be afraid to tackle hard things. And number 3, you don't have to do this alone. You can team up with people you trust. And finally, in all of your life, follow the Irish principle to grab the luck that you're handed. Like me, may your life have lots of fun and adventure as you follow your heart. May your life be filled with accomplishments that mean something to you as you tackle hard things. And may your life be filled with friendship and love as you go through life not being alone, because you really don't have to do this alone. Thanks for listening to me, and remember to grab the best of the luck you're handed in your future.
Thank you, Dr. Gottman. On behalf of the University of Wisconsin-Madison, congratulations. Thank you for your contributions, which embody the Wisconsin idea in action.
Fellow Badgers, I'm Nate Reavers. I was on the basketball team here, and I'm a MS grad in the supply chain management program. Where are my supply chain boys at? Yeah, so it's been a while for my guy Bucky here, probably over a year since he's had a like a good jump around. So I thought we could all help him out here. So hit it.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a
All right. Thank you, Nate and Bucky. That felt good. Now for the reason why you are all here, the conferral of graduate degrees. I call upon William Korpis, Dean of the Graduate School.
Candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Musical Arts, and Master of Fine Arts will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Korpis.
These scholars have devoted significant time to graduate study and research. In addition, they have defended theses or presented exhibitions that have been accepted by faculty committees as substantial contributions, signifying scholarly or professional achievement in their respective fields. They are presented for the highest academic recognition in their fields given by the university: the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Musical Arts, or Master of Fine Arts.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I confer on you the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Musical Arts, or Master of Fine Arts. In testament thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Your academic hood represents a commitment to a scholarly life and a continued pursuit of knowledge. In recognition of your academic accomplishments, please place your hood over your gown at this time. Congratulations. Candidates may be seated. I now call upon Robert Golden, Dean of the School of Medicine and Public Health.
Candidates for the degrees Doctor of Medicine, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Genetic Counselor Studies, Master of Physician Assistant Studies, and Master of Public Health will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Golden.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the courses of study in medicine, physical therapy, medical genetics, physician assistant studies, or public health. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine and Public Health, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine and Public Health, and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I confer on each of you the degree Doctor of Medicine, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Genetic Counselor Studies, Master of Physician Assistant Studies, or Master of Public Health. In testament thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Your academic hood represents a commitment to a scholarly life and a continued pursuit of knowledge. In recognition of all you have done, please place your hood over your gown at this time. Congratulations. Candidates may be seated. I now call upon Steve Swanson, Dean of the School of Pharmacy.
Candidates for the degree Doctor of Pharmacy will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Swanson.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the course of study in pharmacy. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Pharmacy, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Pharmacy, and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I confer on you the degree Doctor of Pharmacy. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Your academic hood represents a commitment to a scholarly life and a continued pursuit of knowledge. In recognition of your academic achievements, please place your hood over your gown at this time. Congratulations. You may be seated. I now call upon Linda Scott, Dean of the School of Nursing.
Candidates for the degree Doctor of Nursing Practice will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Scott.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the course of study in nursing practice. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Nursing, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Nursing, and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I confer on you the degree Doctor of Nursing Practice. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Your academic hood represents a commitment to a scholarly life and a continued pursuit of knowledge. In recognition of your academic achievements, please place your hood over your gown at this time. Congratulations. Candidates may be seated. I now call upon Mark Markell, Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine.
Candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Markell.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the courses of study in veterinary medicine. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Veterinary Medicine, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Veterinary Medicine and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Your academic hood represents a commitment to a scholarly life and a continued pursuit of knowledge. In recognition of all your achievements, please place your hood over your gown at this time. Congratulations.
And now to demonstrate your ability to multitask, please raise your right hand in reciting the veterinarian's oath. Being admitted to the profession of veterinary medicine, I solemnly swear to use my scientific knowledge and skills for the benefit of society through the protection of animal health and welfare, the prevention and relief of animal suffering, the conservation of animal resources, the promotion of public health, and the advancement of medical knowledge. I will practice my profession conscientiously, with dignity and in keeping with the principles of veterinary medical ethics. I accept as a lifelong obligation the continual improvement of my professional knowledge and competence. Candidates may be seated.
I now call upon Daniel Takagi, Dean of the Law School.
Candidates for the degrees Doctor of Juridical Science, Juris Doctor, Master of Laws, and Master of Laws legal institutions will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Takagi.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the courses in law. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the law school, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the law school and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I confer on each of you the degree Doctor of Juridical Science, Juris Doctor, Master of Laws, or Master of Laws legal institutions. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Your academic hood represents a commitment to your scholarly life and a continued pursuit of knowledge. In recognition of this, please place your hood over your gown at this time. Congratulations. Candidates may be seated. I now call upon Diana Hess, Dean of the School of Education.
Candidates for the degree Doctor of Occupational Therapy will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Hess.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the course of study in occupational therapy. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Education, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Education and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Occupational Therapy. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Your academic hood represents a commitment to a scholarly life and your continued pursuit of knowledge. In recognition of this, please place your hood over your gown at this time. Congratulations. Candidates may be seated. I now call upon Eric Wilcox, Dean of the College of Letters and Science.
Candidates for the degree Doctor of Audiology will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Wilcox.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the course of study in audiology. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Letters and Science, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Letters and Science, and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Audiology. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Your academic hood represents a commitment to a scholarly life and a continued pursuit of knowledge. In recognition of all your academic achievements, please place your hood over your gown at this time. Congratulations. Candidates may be seated. I would like to once again call upon William Karpus, Dean of the Graduate School, who will present the candidates for master's degrees.
Candidates for master's degrees will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Karpus.
On the recommendation of the graduate faculty, I present these candidates for the master's degree in their respective fields. Master of Accountancy, Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of Engineering, Master of International Public Affairs, Master of Music, Master of Professional French Studies, Master of Public Affairs, Master of Science, Master of Social Work.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, you will each be admitted to the appropriate degree, and in testimony thereof, you will receive your diploma. Your academic hood represents your commitment to a scholarly life and a continued pursuit of knowledge. In recognition of this, please place your hood over your gowns at this time. Congratulations. Candidates may be seated. Graduates, thank you for making this university a better place while you were here. Wherever your path leads next, I hope you will define your success by the difference you make in the world. And I hope that you will keep in touch. You will always be part of the University of Wisconsin. In a moment, our celebration will conclude with the singing of Varsity. Afterwards, please remain standing until the stage party and the faculty processional have reached the south end zone. Once again, congratulations to all of our graduates, and special thanks to the family and friends whose support and encouragement made this day possible. Best wishes to all, and on Wisconsin. Congratulations. To conclude our celebration, please join Professor Scott Tiefel and the university's Meade Witter School of Music Commencement Band in singing Varsity.